I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Will Leggetter.
And it's fair to say that my joy, love of the Wicker Man lies firmly with the 1973 original. I think it's fair to say that you probably enjoy this more, so why don't you take the Wicker Man 2006?
How dare you put those words into my mouth?
I think you do. I think you do.
Afternoon.
Sorry about the...
It's okay. I'll get it. Give me your hand!
Edward, I know that we haven't spoken in a few years. I need your help. I have a daughter. Her name is Rowan. She has been missing for 2 weeks now. I fear she is in danger, so now I turn to you. Be careful and believe nothing that you see or hear.
Lost your bearings?
Oh, hey. Sorry, snuck up on me there.
This is private property.
Do you know her?
I love the Wicker Man, the original, but yeah, I remember watching this last summer. Me and my sister were up at like 1 a.m, and we're just flicking through the channels, and the halfway through Wicker Man Remake was on, so we thought, oh, we'll put it on, and it's just a great movie to watch very late at night.
I don't recognize this child.
Welcome. My little girl is still here. She has been taken by who I don't know.
I'll find her.
If she existed, we would know of her.
Whose desk is this, Rowan? Hello?
You suspect foul play.
Wicker Man returns.
Who's the Wicker Man?
I'm gonna search every inch of this town.
She'll burn to death. She burned to death.
Because it's so bad. And it's Nick Cage doing Nick Cage. Yes, it's great.
Is it right? Here's the thing, and this is a theory I've had for a long time. This isn't a new theory. Funny bad movies aren't enjoyable on your own.
No, you can't. No, because then you don't.
Did you
laugh.
watch it with Harry and your roommates? Or did
Which
you watch
one?
it on your own? Wicker Man 2006.
I watched this on my own.
Ah,
yes.
It's like weird, isn't it? Because it's not a funny bad movie when you're on your own. It's just a bad movie when you're on your own.
Are you trying to say you need someone else there so you can say, haha, look, I'm laughing at this because I know a lot about films?
Have you read that article? That's a real scientific article that people...
Is it?
It's as real science as whatever you want to look at it. But yeah, no, people who find funny bad movies, who enjoy funny bad movies, are smarter than the average person.
There you go. Well, that's a compliment to my father because he loves B movies.
Yeah, I love a funny bad movie. I just find that one of my greatest memories of Philadelphia was on the final nights, and we decided to watch Sky High. And
I thought you were going to say the Tom Hanks movie, Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, hilarious. No, wonderful film. Any film with a Bruce Springsteen song. Well, I was bruised and battered, I was. The amount of times I walked, I wasn't dying of AIDS, but the amount of times I walked the streets of Philadelphia in the cold, listening to the song Streets of Philadelphia, and I thought, I'm the man. Was watching Sky High, and it was really fun. I've watched this film with people, and it's roarously funny.
Yeah.
And it's still funny now, and I think this will be a fun episode. And I'm sorry to start on such a bummer note, but it's an odd sensation, and I think this is one of the only, because I can watch a comedy film on my own. I don't think anybody else in the house would be joining me for this current 30 movie Woody Allen marathon that I'm on. And I don't think, and none of the joy is being sapped out of that. I just think, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. It's something very specific.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? When you're all settled down in the living room, the last thing you want to put on is both Godfather movies. I mean, obviously, that's the first thing you'd want to put on.
I'm sorry, excuse me. My love of The Godfather comes from buying my grandma and granddad the Godfather box set just for me to use. And then we watched Godfather, and then we watched the first half of Godfather Part 2, and then in the morning, me and my granddad watched the second, because it was a double disc job. But now on a Blu-ray, I can just watch it straight through. Oh.
It's the Con Air argument, though, isn't it? When you're with your family, you want to watch an action movie or a comedy. Unless you're feeling different, I'll happily put Birdman or Spotlight on.
Or other Michael Keaton movies.
just Michael Keaton.
Just Michael Keaton movies. Right, no. We've done this thing now because you face the typical argument of you have an hour conversation of what movie we're going to watch, and it's drove us all mad. So now every Sunday, it's a rotation. But the problem is, of course, that we all have very, very distinct film tastes, and so Isabel always has a piss on. And she says, because I'll say, I think I might do 45 years this week, which I am choosing, I don't care what she says. And she'll be like, is that for everybody? When she picks Instant Family, which I didn't, which isn't for me. I thought it was okay. It was better than what I was expecting. It had good moments, but overall, it wasn't for me, as she would say.
But I think we might do that because we just sit there flicking through a lot. You're all right?
Yeah. Speak.
We just sit there for like...
This earphone's bust.
Oh. There you go.
Oh, well. Sorry, continue.
We just sit there for like half an hour, just flicking through the channels and we get nowhere.
Yeah, you've just got to buckle in and then... Yeah. Well, I talked before on the show about when my mother's first choice was Bridget Jones's Baby, the worst of the Bridget films, and bad movie. And then my dad picked. I can't remember what he picked first time. Anyway, so that's the way you got to do it. The Wicker Man 2006. This is a remake of, obviously, the 1973 film, directed by and written by Neil LaBute, who is one of the best playwrights we have nowadays. This is what makes this film so fascinating to me. Bash, Latter Day Plays, it's 3 monologues, and it's astounding. Paul Rudd was in the original, Renee Zellweger. They are dark, fucked up monologues, and they're great. There's not one of them that's loose, a loose link rather. They're just excellent. And then The Shape of Things, which isn't as good, but is also pretty good. And that got made into a film as well with Rachel Weisz and Paul Rudd again. But this is a really, really good writer. And I listened to the commentary this morning. I'm going to spoil a fun fact. Nicolas Cage and Neil LaBute keep saying that they meant it as an absurd dark comedy. And listening to the commentary track, I think they did in some aspects.
You know what? I get that, because if they meant it as an absurd dark comedy, they didn't achieve it because it's not dark.
Yes. I think they only meant it in the regard of Cage going crazy.
Yeah.
And what was the example? He said when he pulls the gun on the woman on the bike. He was and he was on the commentary and he said, I was reading these critics, and do these critics genuinely think that I don't think this is funny? This is really funny. And I think they are self-conscious about that. What they aren't self-conscious about at all is all the dream sequences, all of these scares. I think they genuinely think are scary.
What is it? What's wrong, sister?
Prime example being on the commentary track when the woman disappeared into bees, and he said, "What a great effect! That just looks really good, doesn't it?" With complete sincerity. So I think half true. I think they did mean to make a dark comedy, and I think they achieved that with the Nicolas Cage stuff. I don't think any of the horror is intentionally funny.
No, it's not a scary movie.
No,
you watch 73 and you're scared.
Yeah,
this is
it's
a romp.
I don't know.
This hers? Tell me!
Yes, I think it. Yeah.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
I don't know.
I'm never scared, mate. Well,
not scared, but creeped out.
You're unsettled the whole way.
Yeah.
And that ending sticks with you. This, even the little things of like, when we see the Wicker Man at the end, we see it propping into fame first. Whereas you compare that with, I mean, I guess it'd be cringeworthy, I guess, if they just copied but it's a remake. Why bother making it in the first place if you're not going to steal the best bits? Ugh. Right, YouTube comments. Let's start with this.
The attendance record.
Do you have Sister Summerall's authority?
No, I do not have. You seem to forget that this is a legal matter.
I'm afraid you still need her permission. Put that back. Put that back.
Sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me. You little liars. Rowan Woodward is your classmate, isn't she? Isn't she? That is her desk. And you're the biggest liar of them all. I am warning you. You tell me another and I'll arrest you myself. That is a promise, Miss...
Rose. Sister Rose.
Of course. Another plant. Rose. For the last time, where's this girl?
Pardon me. This is directed by the director who did Death at a Funeral with Chris Rock and Martin Lawrence. It is. I forgot to say this.
The American remake?
The American remake of another American remake of a brilliant British film.
Yeah. But they keep Dinklage. They keep Dinklage in both.
You know what's really
great
weird
movies.
is that the original is directed by Frank Oz, an American anyway. Obviously,
but it's a very British.
It's remarkably British, yeah. And Frank Oz is probably one of my sneaky favourite comedy directors. Little Shop of Horrors, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, In and Out, the Muppets Take Manhattan.
There we go. I'm sold.
There you go. And I think let's just do a quick Frank Oz rundown, because I think he maybe did your Christmas Carol as well.
It rings a bell, you know what?
It rings a bell. He's excellent, Frank Oz. You can't beat Frank Oz. He directed Dark Crystal, Little Shop of Horrors, Take Manhattan, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. He directed Muppet Vision 3D, one of the best rides of all time. What About Bob, which is a hilarious Bill Murray, Richard Dreyfuss movie. Bowfinger, Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy, great. The Stepford Wives remake with Nicole Kidman. That's a really odd one, because you look, they're right. I've done it. I hope I don't sound arrogant when I say I am the greatest man alive. If they wanted to do an absurdist dark comedy of a 70s unsettling horror drama, they should have looked at the Stepford Wives remake, because you look at 1975's Stepford Wives, and it's actually going to come up pretty soon, because we're not doing it as an episode yet, but William Goldman adapted it, who is our Fortnight After Next, and that is a perverse, unsettling movie. And then you look at the remake, and it takes that ingenious idea from the original novel by Ira Levin, and it turns it into an absurdist dark comedy that completely works. I love both the 75 original Stepford Wives and the crazy Chris Walken, Matthew Broderick. Have you seen the Stepford Wives remake?
No.
Oh, you'd love it. Chris Walken, Glenn Close, Nicole Kidman, Matthew Broderick, Frank Oz directed, Roger
wonderful.
Bart. It's just marvelous. And it takes that original 75 film and turns. That's what this should have been. If they wanted to do it, they should have done it like this. YouTube comments. There's a surprising amount of people. I don't know whether they think they're funny. I don't know whether they're being ironic.
Are they just saying, "Oh,
better than the original"? Yeah. I don't. Keep going, Nicolas Cage. At least you're trying different movies and ideas, even if they call them B movies. But the original Wicker Man, you're having a laugh. The state of USA movies is running out of ideas, and CGI has taken over real acting and character roles and scenes.
I think this is the best B movie he's done.
Yeah, very good. That's good.
I'm good at jokes. Good at them.
I feel like with this one earphone, I feel like when deaf people have an hearing aid and the other one falls out and they're like, they lose the balance. I feel like I'm going mad. Midsummer brought me here. We've talked about this. I mean, this is the wrong way to go for Are you ready? The Wicker Man 2, next chapter. They couldn't even think of a funny...
It's the next chapter. Have you been on the Wicker Man ride at Alton Towers?
No, but my sister has, and I kept saying to her, "Is the right references? Do you hear Christopher Lee?" And she goes, "Oh, it's Christopher Lee." Oh, I should have just done a ride through, shouldn't I? Before we did the episode. Have you done it?
No. Last time I went to Alton Towers was in 2014.
Yeah. At least on the set off, they should at least have an audio of "Oh God, oh Jesus Christ!" And yeah, they should have Christopher Lee going, it is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man. And then summaries are coming in when you're raging through. I hope the ride.
Be good. Weaving in and out the maypole. That might be a good idea.
Yeah. Sounds good.
We should design theme park rides for a living.
Well, I did. Well, no, not for a living. But when I went to Florida the first time when I was a child, I had full blueprints, and I designed 4 whole parks like Disney World. I wasn't just going to do one. Movie world. Oh, it was fascinating, and they all had different rides.
This was my end of first year engineering project. I designed a water slide. Difference was mine. I got the maths wrong, and you went down so fast that you died at the bottom. They still passed me though. They still passed me as an engineer.
This is a really weird turn that the YouTube comments took this time. Too bad for all these actors, actresses, directors, politicians, past presidents. They're all going to be retiring in Guantanamo Bay. The world will be a much better place once all of these pedophile sickos are gone. I don't know whether they think they're part of the cult of Summer's Isle. Nobody in this film has been accused of anything.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, and then somebody's commented, "Not all of them," and then straight up, "You should see what people are posting on Bill Gates' Instagram. The cat's out of the bag." That's 2 months ago. So
I say it's an odd movie trailer to choose to.
They could have picked any of the Miramax movies, or any of the multiple movies starring people accused during the Me Too movement. Who knows? Alas. Again, this was a very weird one to do 10-minute stretches and minutes, but
because I don't want to. Well, the approach I've done for this is I've seen it as a comedy movie, and I've just picked like funny parts, really bad parts, and we'll talk about that.
Indeed.
Because
your 10-minute stretch, then, Will. I've got 4 nominations, but you shoot.
My 10-minute stretch it's the ending, but more
Again.
importantly, emphasis on the bees.
Yes. I believe that, did we watch the same copy? The director's
Yes.
cuts?
Yes.
Because the cuts are different, again, from England to America. In England, it was released as a 15 with the F word and the leg beating and the B scene. In America, the B scene and the legs were cut and swapped with the scene which we'll get to in alternate ending corner. Oh, how very exciting! Which I couldn't find. It's not. Nobody's posted on YouTube or anything.
That is a shame. I didn't even know about it. Yeah, no, the big scene's great. Well, I mean, I say I love everything I'm about to say is a lie. I hate it all. The whole build-up of the facts that he's allergic to bees. That's the thing. They went for bees instead of hares.
I think
Which
apples.
bees?
Oh no, bees instead of honey.
Which
Honey instead
could
of
have
apples,
worked.
apparently.
It could have worked.
Yeah, it's not a startling
Yeah.
change,
No.
I guess.
But yeah, it's just one of his greatest performances. I think it's one of his most. If you say, say a funny scene Nick Cage was in, a lot of people will say the beast.
The end of Leaving Las Vegas. Oh no.
Oh no, he's very good at that.
He won an Oscar.
He did win the Oscar.
Imagine winning an Oscar and then doing Face Off, The Rock, Con Air. They were the next 3 movies he made.
2 of them are wonderful.
I'd say 3. I don't mind The Rock. I think The Rock. Are you saying The Rock's the least?
Yeah.
One, yeah.
Yeah.
The Rock's my least favorite, but Con Air and Face Off. Wow.
What's in the bag? A shark or something?
The word masterpiece gets thrown around too often nowadays. Yes, go on. Whilst I add Face Off to movie ideas for future episodes. Continue.
I think I don't know if he's having fun.
He must be. He must enjoy his work. The man never stops. The man is in an
loves
abundance.
working. He does a lot of movies because he likes doing it. Yeah.
I'll Google this now. How many actual acting credits the man has?
Because he says background information on Nick Cage. He says he's created his own acting style, which that's very obvious. But it was Vampire's Kiss, wasn't it? That he decided.
Yeah.
Let's start experiment. That was his experiment, and he likes to push what he does in acting.
Yeah.
And he's wonderful. I love. Well, I say I'm naming a film now where he's not strange at all. Knowing. I love Knowing. It's great.
I don't know. I'm surprised.
What's in the bag? A shark or something? Must be ladies' night. I'd just like a room and a meal. Can you swing it?
Swing what? Is that some kind of city talk?
I think I'll have a drink first. As long as I'm not intruding.
Will you tell us what man represents in his purest form? Yes.
Phallic symbol, phallic symbol.
The ending's a bit.
That just is exactly. I was like, oh no, that's the sort of mid-2000s weird sci-fi thriller that Will love unironically. Who will genuinely really enjoy.
Yeah. I adore my favourite Nick Cage movies. I adore the National Treasure movies. They are superb.
Yes, no, I remove my mock of you in reference to those. Those are excellent. Yes.
Thank you.
Although, well, maybe excellent's a touch strong. They are very enjoyable adventure movies.
They are. They're my sort of thing. clues and adventure. That's why I like
Philadelphia.
Indiana Jones.
I've walked past
Yeah.
the graveyard where the
Have you?
where they do the shootout scene. Yes, I was on a tour bus, and the guy had a sneeze and a cold, and he kept having to go and then back into the microphone, and he said the National Treasure movies, they're here. They were shot around the area. Yeah, there you go. My nominations to 10-minute stretch. I don't actually. Oh no, I do. Revelation when he's got his gun. Wow. The Crash. Very bad.
I've written
Terrible.
the bit where he picks the baby up on the bike. I mean, him on the bike. It's just very American, isn't it?
Very
That scene
funny.
is
Yeah.
very American.
Which is and then it gets mirrored when he's on his bike for the rest of the film. Yeah, rough. Don't even know what's happening. Because that's what the original film was missing, a 20-minute scene at the start with a random crash. The school scene, again, just for all different reasons than the original. The crow. Why would they keep a crow?
Well, they wanted to see how long it could. It's just so bad. I've written down here, phallic symbol is just bad in this.
Phallic symbol.
I mean, they get bad child actors again.
They do.
They're just like phallic symbol.
One of my great annoyances with the film is that Nick Cage punches 3 women and he doesn't punch Sister Rose. Oh my God! What an annoying woman.
He's quite violent towards women in this movie.
Yes, well, that's a separate point. But the teacher, she is just. I'm not saying that everybody else in the film is subtle, but she is overacting a storm in this movie. I mean, Jesus. Well, maybe. And then you look at the wonderful Diane Colento in the original, and she's just like a normal school teacher. That's why that scene works, because she's like a normal school teacher. And then you watch this, and she's like, well, Rowan Morrison doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's the bit where like, whose desk does that belong to? And she's just like, not looking. It's really.
It's bad. It's.
I think you've chosen the right word there.
I'm a bit deflated. I feel like when I watched Girl on the Train and we drove home, and that was just bad. And it just
Girl on the Train is very bad.
Sapped all of our energy. I think this has come up before about our hatred for the tepid nature of Girl on the Train, the dullness. And then just
very bad.
Just a dull. It like sapped us all. We were just like, what a dreadful movie. I actually don't mind the scene between Nicolas Cage and Miss Summersall. I think Ellen Burstyn is one of the finer actresses we have, as we will find out
in The Exorcist.
Yes. Spoilers for Oscar travesty, the woman should have won Best Actress. I haven't seen who she's nominated against yet, so maybe, but we'll see. And also in the wonderful Requiem for a Dream, which is similarly brutal, harrowing, rough. Why do I keep saying rough? Every time I say it twice.
Into a dog.
Like the terrible Hannah House of Horror episode I watched last night. A few of those just don't stick any sort of landing. They don't even attempt. They're just like, oh, mystery. Oh, shit.
We need to add Shaggy Dog to the list.
Is that the Tim Allen one?
The Tim Allen Shaggy Dog movie.
Funny bad? Is that good? Is that...
It's not even funny bad. It's just a bad movie. But it's something I went to the cinema to see as a child. I love Tim Allen.
I like Tim Allen, yeah. Toy Stories are good. Tom's weirdly specific favourite parts of the film. The Everything's Okay video. Did you notice that he's wearing the same outfit as Lord Summersall? The tweed jacket and the yellow shirt. Just pissing all over the... I love, incredibly, the the truck on the boat. Who thought that was a funny? Who thought that was a good? Who thought that was either scary? It's just baffling. It baffles me. It truly baffles me. Yeah, no, I Christ. What
No, this is the thing. I don't like the recurring sort of flashbacks to the crash. I think it's stupid.
Don't know why there's a crash in the first place.
Yeah.
I've got Tom's big question. Was the crash part of it? Like, was that part of the plan?
It was, because at the end when they
they're
all
there,
get the masks
aren't
off,
they? Yeah.
all of the people, and because that woman who trained as a police officer,
she's also there.
So that was a waste of. It's just so bad.
It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make any sense. The whole part of the whole gist of the thing is that the man has to come of his own free will.
Yeah. Like we said,
free will if you're doing all of this.
In the previous episode, we said, okay, it's a grand scheme and a lot of things have got to go right, but it's very well executed. Actually, they know what they're doing.
Not really. A lot of things do have to go right.
No. When
you actually break it down.
The other day, they just need to sedate him and chuck him in the Wicker Man.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they just have to. It doesn't
get
matter
him on the island,
if they're not all in sync with the story, because in the first 20 minutes or half an hour, they're like, oh no, she's dead. Oh no, she's alive. Oh no. It doesn't matter, because whatever you say is just going to send him into further, paranoia and like, well, no, they're all in on it. Oh wait, no, but it doesn't matter. Just keep him there until Mayday, and then Rowan's there. So it really doesn't matter. The only genuine problem with the plot of the Wicker Man is when they affect the plane, because with them affecting the plane, then he's not really there of his own free will. But we can look past that.
We can.
Star Honey. What am I? Oh, when he's just terrible foreshadowing. You look at the foreshadowing in the first film, and it's like just empty crates, and fresh apples, and then he's like, "Why isn't there any honey? I thought this was a question."
He is waiting for it all to drip down.
Yeah.
I think my favourite bit of foreshadowing this movie is when he shows everyone his EpiPens, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm really allergic to bees."
When he slams the.
When a tankard and he kills the bee.
Yeah, and then Sister Beach, my favourite character. Oh, Mr. Malus. I can't pin it, but she sounds like a man. She sounds like an actor who I can't exactly pin. But Sister Beach is my favourite character. Mr. Malus, you've got a nice door. Bloody Sister Rose.
Or is it Sister Thorn?
Another plant.
Of course, another plant.
When she goes, she'll burn to death. What? She'd burn to death. Are you doing it on purpose? Are you trying to give it away? I bet she thought, oh, if I say she'll, he won't notice. And then if he does notice, I'll say she'd. The flash of the dead body on the pier when he's like, oh.
When he's holding her.
This is just a terrible film. The bike when he get off your bike. Maybe the film would have been better if Stand and Deliver was playing underneath. I'm the dandy.
The Horrible Histories version with Dick Turpin.
Oh, you're too short to mention. Have you been to York Dungeons recently?
No, I've only ever been to London Dungeons. We were going to go to York Dungeons as a child. Got in, and then I was about to go in, and I got very scared because I had to buy a cross and some garlic to take with me before I went in because I just couldn't do it.
Continue.
My parents wouldn't let me bring a steak.
No, they've got a new Dick Turpin thing to end with. It's very good.
Oh, London Dungeons are fantastic. I love them.
I think I did Black Bull Dungeons. I don't know if Black Bull Dungeons still is open.
But yeah.
That's got a little frog opera at the end, like you're being hung. It's an odd, Black Bull Dungeons, I've done York about now 4 times. To go, I've done it a lot.
I enjoy a day out of the dungeons. They're very well made, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good aesthetic. And I'll probably end up working at one of them.
You will.
I love both punches. I love the punch of the bear woman, and I love punching Sister Pooch.
That's it. My favourite. I mean, that's my best single.
Well, shoot into your more general favourite parts.
Well, that's it. How to get burned? How to get burned?
How to get burned?
Great.
How to get burned? How to get burned? How to get burned? How to get burned? In the script, did they have it 5 times, or did he?
No. He just went for it. Because he's an established actor. He knows what he's doing. The director's like, yeah, just go with it, Nick. Just go with it. Do what you want.
Yeah, maybe just a few times say how to get burned. No, I'm gonna say it 5 times.
No, he specified that it had to be 5 times. We said lots of times. No, I need to say 5.
5 is the sign of the devil. What?
That was quite a good impression.
Thank you. Put the bonnet down.
In the box.
I'm gonna make you believe in God. No, that's Con Air. It's a different film.
What a film. Every time Nick Cage takes a pill, it's great.
It's really going for it. It's like he's doing a play and he's not yet realised. It's like watching MT Lives, because they're performing for a whole auditorium, and so they're acting really big, but the camera's in their face. So it's like, but it's for a film. It's that odd situation.
Are we going to do an Oscar travesty?
No. Will.
No.
Will. We did.
Was it nominated for anything?
No. I've got the. I'll do. You know what? I'll do the Razzie nominations now.
Oh, of course it was for Razzies.
It did get nominated for a few Razzies. It was nominated for the Golden Raspberry Awards. It was nominated for Worst Picture. It lost to Basic Instinct 2.
There's a Basic Instinct 2?
There is. It's very bad. Very, very, very bad. Yeah. It's not even worth watching. You know who's in it? David Morrissey.
Oh, wonderful.
She did kill. Spoilers for the wonderful ambiguous ending of Basic Instinct. She did kill Nick. And then David Morrissey. Now she's in London. I think Vinnie Jones is in it.
Oh, we love Vinnie.
I think I'm remembering this correctly. I don't want to shame any women, but Sharon Stone has now had her work done by the time that this film comes about, and it's noticeable. Oh no, it's not Vinnie Jones. It's David Thewlis. Not that I've confused them, but yeah, David.
The
Morrissey.
Man of many words. David Thewlis, what a man.
Yeah, there's
great in Fargo.
David Thewlis, what a man! Incredible.
Yeah,
just astoundingly good. Probably my favourite dark arts teacher. Is it dark arts? What's the one that changes every film?
Yeah. The Defender of the Dark Arts. Is it? That's it.
Something.
One of them. Yeah, that one. The one who ends up to be a werewolf.
Yeah, Professor Lupin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Azkaban.
Oh no, Azkaban's very good.
Yeah. David Thewlis is in it. Charlotte Rampling's in it. Who, I mean, you gotta love Charlotte Rampling. It's directed by Michael Caton Jones, who directed. Not much. Rob Roy, the Rob Roy movie. Do you remember Rob Roy? He did direct This Boy's Life with DiCaprio. That's a good movie. And where he gets beat up by his dad, De Niro. The tagline: "Everything interesting begins in the mind." That's one of the worst taglines I've ever heard. What?
It's quite good.
Novelist Catherine Trammell is once again in trouble with the law, and Scotland Yard appoints psychiatrist Dr. Michael Glass to evaluate her, Morrissey. Though, like Detective Nick Curran before him, Glass is entranced by Trammell and lured into a seductive game. Maybe we should watch Basic Instinct 2 as a bonus episode to Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct.
And yeah, I'm interested. I'm genuinely interested. Maybe this can be my new Hannibal. Where, like, I really defend Basic Instinct 2. I don't think it will be, but we'll see. Worst actor, Cage was nominated, lost to Marlon and Shawn Wayans for the movie Little Man.
Oh, I don't know that.
It's where he's a dwarf.
Killing me won't bring back your goddamn...
Anyway, worst screenplay, lost to Basic Instinct. Worst remake or rip-off, lost again to Little Man. Worst on-screen couple, lost to Shawn Wayans and either Kerry Washington or Marlon Wayans for Little Man. However, do you know what the nomination was for worst on-screen couple for this film?
It wasn't Evan Willow, was it?
No, it was Cage and his bear suit. You'll love this, Will. At the 2006 Stinkers Bad Movie Awards, the film garnered 2 nominations. It won Worst Remake, but Cage lost to Tim Allen for Santa Claus 3, Zoom, and the Shaggy Dog Movie.
Yes. They all came out of the same movie. What a wonderful year for Tim Allen.
That was the year.
Same year.
That's the 1973 horror quadrilogy for Tim Allen.
What is that? What is that? What is it? Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Open my eyes! Eyes! Ah!
I always, as a child, my favourite Santa Claus movie was the third one.
Oh no, it's definitely the favourite in this house. I mean,
it's good.
I used to watch it.
It's got Jack Frost. Jack Frost is great. It's
got Martin Short.
Yeah,
what a man! You can't beat Martin Short.
I think it is my favourite one. Yeah, when he becomes Santa, it's great. I love the Santa Claus movies.
Will's favourite building or set? I think you've actually got some good options here. I think the set design in this film is pretty good.
Very nice. Because they go for more of a polished aesthetic, don't they? Rather in 73, it's meant to be raggedy Scottish Island. This is
it's meant to be very polished. This is very
well. I suppose it comes off the idea of honey and bees. It's very clinical.
Do you like Ellen Burstyn's bedroom? Maybe her inspiration was like, now I get to just sit in a bed all day like that bloody bitch Linda Blair. I had to get thrown about and she dislocated her shoulder. Spoilers for the Exorcist episode. With the bit where she gets ragged against the closet, that was done by a rope, and she fully dislocated her shoulder. Yeah, William Friedkin was famously, insane on the shoot of the Exorcist. Yeah, but Linda Blair had a good job. She just had to lay in a bed all day. Best single minute. I've got any scene with Sister Beach, Mr. Malus. No, that God, especially when that woman sort of bitches to her as a reference to when Christopher Lee talks to McGregor and he's like, "Oh, are you going to have to take it out again this year, McGregor?" And he's like, "Oh, Sister Beach, are you going to have to take that outfit again?" Not as I have anything to do with it.
It's very similar to your Jodie Foster impression.
I could see that. Well, Dr. Lecter. Tell me, Dr. Lecter, what does he do now?
My best single minute is the bear costume and running up and punching the lady.
According to the commentary, Nicolas Cage wanted him to wear the bear suit for the rest of the film and into the Wicker Man.
I thought you were going to say, according to the, it wasn't actually written in to punch her. He just
showed up. It wasn't
She
written in
decided
that
to
it was
do
a
it.
bear costume. He just showed up
in a bear costume. Decided to.
and decided to punch random women on the set. Yeah, Sister Beach. That's why Sister Beach isn't in the. Well, no, she is in the film. The joke doesn't work. Any other nominations, Will, for best single minute?
It's just that. It's just that. There's no other good minutes.
Then let's take it for best line. This is murder! Murder! You'll all be guilty, and you're doing it for nothing. Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey! What is that? What is that? Oh no! Not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Oh, they're in my eyes! My eyes! Ah! Ah!
It's great. I love it.
Cheers, you bitches! That's the bit where I did laugh out loud, even though I was on my own. Bitches! You bitches! Watching the bear, the shark or something. This is turning more and more into Mason Verger as we go. Cardell! A purgatory. Your feet. You little liars. Rowan. Oh, we haven't yet talked about
the fun facts.
The very subtle reference. Edward Malus. We're going to talk about the origin of Malus in fun facts. But Edward, and then Rowan Woodward. And then she's called Willow, because they don't really have a Willow character anymore.
But she's also Willow Woodward, isn't she?
She's Willow
Yeah.
Willow Woodward. Yeah, it's one of those things. Isn't she? That is her desk, and you're the biggest liar of them all. I am warning you. You tell me another and I'll arrest you myself. This is a promise, Miss Rose, Sister Rose. Oh, of course, another plant, Rose.
That's my favourite line.
That is by far my favourite line. William, as you were.
Well, you just said them all, haven't you?
Sorry. I got any other nominations? There's a lot to go off.
It's the bit where he's in the bear suit and he's screaming, "Don't be frightened."
You're right. That is very good. Don't be frightened in a bear costume. That is an underrated part of this film. Don't be frightened. Yeah, that is excellent. Excellent stuff.
What's left from your notes?
Is that the category?
Oh, what's the change? I apologise.
It's a tough one. Because
obviously I have got an honest change. What could definitely make them. Bad ending. We end with the Wicker Man's head landing on the camera to blackout.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Yeah. I mean, I guess every single commentary track and every single behind the scenes thing for the first one was talking about how lucky they were to get that shot so perfectly. But in the original, I don't know. I don't mind it. If we're talking sincere changes, cut all the montages. And also, from a funny bad point of view, speed up the first half. It really drags. When you're watching it as a party movie or whatever, it's the second hour where he starts going crazy.
It's a lot of it. It's just him stood there talking and having just boring conversations, which is what the first movie does. But you've got the songs and you've got the atmosphere.
You've got to and the performances and the directing and
and the writing.
But the only way it works is you rig your drinking game to drink everything in the first half, and then the second half is even better. That's the only way that first half is enjoyable, is if it's like drink every time there's a weird Aaron Eckhart cameo, drink every time. That by the way is to not break him and Neil LaBute's unbroken record.
He's at the bar at the beginning.
He is, yeah. Aaron Eckhart being in all of his films. Because again, Neil LaBute has made lots of great films. In the Company of Men is a very, very, very good film. It's a very odd one. It has to be said. Yeah, speed of the first half. Here's a change.
Oh.
And it's actually a change from the 1973 film, Will. Because I think this film does something that I think is actually a better idea. I really like Rowan throwing the torch on the thing. Just as an idea. I don't think this kid is good. I don't think the build-up is good. I don't think Rowan, put the torch is good. But I like the idea of...
I do like that, yeah.
Yeah. I can just see it in the film of instead of Big Oak chucking it on, I can see Rowan. Maybe, yeah. I think in the words of in the mouth of Edward Woodward, him going, Rowan, please, you're only a child. You're only a child. Would be brilliant. So actually, there you go. There's the Shyamalan Usual Suspects twist of this podcast. I think this film does one thing. One thing better. Yes. Any other changes?
I mean, we could be here for days.
We could, yes. But also, it's like the Mamma Mia thing. I don't want any of these things to be changed. No. What is left from your notes?
What is left from mine? Nothing.
Here's a few things. We talked about Aaron Eckhart. We talked about Neil LaBute. We talked about Willow Woodward. Christ. Here's another thing. The music, I think, is pretty good. It's nowhere near the music of the original, but Angelo Badalamenti is a very, very good, I was going to say score person, composer is the word. Obviously, he done mostly all of the Lynch films, especially the score for Twin Peaks. I mean, it's sensational. Yeah, mentioning the Wicker Man. No, don't mention the Wicker Man until we see it at the end.
I mean, this movie is in no way subtle. They say a lot of things.
Oh, here's another thing, actually. It's not really subtle, but I think the first film could have done it subtler. Is in this film, there's a lot of people in the background carrying twigs and sticks, like just in the background of the frame. Obviously going to make the Wicker Man. I think in the first film, really subtly, that again could work. Yeah. And also, I like the thing of him helping the guy and then helping him put the twigs back on, and he's sort of sealing his own fate. Again, that's
with all the logs, yeah.
Oh, those logs, bloody hell. Lily Sobieski, the girl from Housewives Shuts, is in this. She plays
the same character.
Yeah, the same character. Yeah, yeah. Just the broken glass left on the floor of the picture.
Very in your face.
And it's in a carpet as well. Who leaves broken glass in a carpet? That's just waiting to happen. Ugh. I don't like Willow's stutter anytime Nicolas Cage is like, what about Rowan? And she's just like, well, I don't, she does it every single time he asks her a question. It gets very annoying. It's time to keep
somebody at the door.
No, there's somebody at the door.
That wasn't meant to be a dab. Right, pause.
It's all right. I'll cut to there's somebody at the door.
There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door.
Hey, it's my G.
Yoko Chapman. That was the twist.
Mark Yoko David Chapman. and that's where people will come back in. They will hear the words Mark Yoko David Chapman and they will go, I don't get it. What? And they will never know. What's left from my notes? Before you rudely interrupted. That's it. Willow just got a comment about the Braveheart face. Wow.
Oh, I like the Braveheart face. But it's not quite a turtleneck
in Braveheart,
or a dress.
In Braveheart or in this?
I love
Oh.
Braveheart.
It's gonna take patience and time to do it right now. It's gonna take a time, a whole lot of precious time. Let me find... Right, okay then. So, alternate ending corner. I mean, here we go. 1 minute. It depends. I had it before. Yeah, the last scene is shown with Sister Willow and Sister Honey, Lily Sobieski, going into a bar on the mainland and talking with two male police officers, which was one of James Franco's first roles. And the women invite them to go home with them, presumably in hopes of luring them to the island to be sacrificed, just as Malice was.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense because they just want the honey, and they just need Nick Cage. They don't need anyone else. That's the whole point of the.
Well, no, this goes to your theory of like, are they doing it every year, just anyway, just in case?
Yeah, but it goes against. Are they going to try and keep them on the island for a year because they've got to wait a whole year now to keep one man, and then the next year for the other guy?
Go home with them, as in just go home for sex. As into an apartment or something. Not go, come home with me to my island. Few fun facts. Not surprisingly, Robin Hardy and Christopher Lee were both critical of the remake. Hardy had his name removed from the film's credits as he did not want to be associated with it. It was.
I watched a YouTube video of Lee talking about it, and he was saying, "I hear they're doing a remake with Nicolas Cage." Interesting.
Yeah. I've also seen that video. I've not yet found a comment from him after he saw the film. It wasn't screened for critics. That should have been a bad sign. Nicolas Cage objected to the criticism that the film was unintentionally funny, saying that he and Neil LaBute knowingly made the picture an absurdist black comedy and that it should have been seen and judged as such.
See, that does sound like, Nicolas Cage. It was meant to be funny. It's meant to be funny. After you realise you just made a bad film. Yeah, it's meant to be a piss take.
Meant to be a joke. In a way, I appreciate Tommy Wiseau for. I think mainly it's because he's also not fully aware. I mean, he's got to be by now, but like, I don't know.
I still think he's completely thinks he's the greatest filmmaker of all time.
It's true. The film is dedicated to the late musician Johnny Ramone of the Ramones, who was the first to introduce Nicolas Cage to 1973's The Wicker Man. So it's all his fault. Edward Woodward, Iwa, has said that while he was offered a part in the remake and declined, he nevertheless was surprisingly impressed by the quality of the script. I guess
he's just being polite. He's being polite. Yeah.
I guess it could read well as a remake of like, you go in with the lowest expectations ever of like, oh, here we go again. And then you read it and you're like, oh no, they've changed things, they've Americanized
it's a bit different, yeah.
It could read really, like reading Malice looks down and sees the corpse of a young child in his hands. You can see that as a terrifying scene. And then, and then this. Edward Woodward, I've just read that. The sisters' names are all plant-related. Did you notice that, Will?
Another plant.
Winona Ryder turned down the role of Willow. Do you know why?
Why?
She hated the script.
It's fair enough.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage's character's last name, Malice, is a combination of the words male and phallus. This was done because of the male-female dynamic in the remake. See, it's really clever. It's a clever script.
Yeah, it's very clever.
Some might say it's smarter than we're giving it credit for. There is a missing sign in the police station with a photo of Edward Woodward's character from The Wicker Man. Did you spot
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
why
it. Why would it be in America?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's nice enough, but yeah. Tom's big question. Let's talk about Cage. What is your favourite Cage film? Whether it be ironic, whether it be genuinely good, or not.
Well, I will always say it is the National Treasure movies. They are very high up in over Con Air. Like seriously, I love that sort of thing. Seriously,
believe me, I'm not lying.
Seriously, please. No, yeah, it would probably be the National Treasure movies, Con Air,
Face Off.
No, Face Off. Knowing's good. Left Behind. What a film.
Yes, you watched this the other day.
Yeah.
You said that this was just bad though, not funny bad.
Yeah, no, it's you know. Do you know Left Behind?
Yes, it's the Rapture movie.
Yes,
isn't
the
it?
Rapture, and he's the pilot.
Yeah, good old Cage.
The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I like him in that. That's a very good film.
That was a birthday movie.
Yeah,
not for me, for Sean, one of my old friends. Yeah.
No, I enjoy that.
Synopsis of a sequel. I mean, it's dead. We talked last episode about the Lambert worm. Closing line Hall of Fame. I mean, it's even worse this time. Just he doesn't even say Jesus. Come on. And also, he says, "Oh God, oh God." Come on, Nick. I know that they maybe didn't want to be so reminiscent of the original, but come on.
Oh God, oh Jesus Christ.
It's there. It's there for the taking. That's the line. Will, do you have any final thoughts on 2006's The Wicker Man?
I'm surprised it took us this long to get to the best movie that we'll probably do in the podcast. But there you go.
Ever.
Ever. And we haven't done The Godfathers yet. That's how much I like.
Too. The two best films we will ever do. This and Basic Instinct 2. The two best films we'll ever do. Me and you, you and me. We're as happy. The sequel to The Wicker Man was called The Wicker Tree.
Bitches! You bitches!
Dabba 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 da da ba 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 ba.